In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to play with double or multiple strands when it comes to doing crochet, and I'm going to show you some techniques for some color variation at the same time. Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd as well as yarnspirations.com. I'm your host Mikey. Today I'm going to teach you how to do double stranded crochet. So sometimes patterns ask you to double up or triple or quadruple up a strand. It could even be more. And what I'm going to show you today is how to do that. Plus I'm going to show you some color techniques on being able to transition with color. And both Jeannie and I have done this, and it's really kind of a neat idea. So let me show you what you can do right off the top of my head. So we all know that a ball of strand has two ends. It has the outside end and it has the middle end. If you don't have the luxury of using two balls at once, you can just grab the outside and the inside at the same time, and voila, you have two strands of yarn. Sometimes when it comes to smaller projects, this is the cheaper way to go instead of going to buy two balls. Again, that's up to you. So what you can just do is that you can just kind of hold them together and just kind of pull from the ball. So one's coming from the inside and one's coming from the outside, just like this. Just kind of nice and easy. And what I'm doing is that I'm just creating some string for myself to do some double stranded, just to show you, like this. Okay, so that's how you would be able to create two strands at one time with one ball. Cool trick, right? So let me show you what you can do with this yarn. So with two strands of yarn like this makes a project twice as thick. And so you can have to compensate it with the bigger hook when you're going to use these kind of ideas. So with you have to look at what kind of yarn you want to do, and some of the Afghan projects and other projects require you to do multiple strands like this, and this is how you would do it. So if you need 3 strands, then you'd probably need a second ball for sure. 4 strands, you could probably pull it from the outside of the second ball. So you would create a slip knot. So you have to visualize this is not 2 strings. So I'm taking that, so take that out of your memory and think about it as only one. Create a slip knot and pretend it's only one, just like so. Once you start with this, they will kind of stick together anyway, like they're buddies. And let's just do chaining of 11. So I got 1, so I'm just wrapping around both. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. So I'm treating them like they're together. They stay together. That's what's the nice thing about it. So let's do a single crochet second chain from the hook. So look, 1 and 2, flip it over and get the back loop only. And the back loop, instead of only being 1 strand, it'll be 2 because you're working with 2 strands at the same time. So you're just gonna single crochet yourself, treating the 2 strands like they're 1. I have done afghans like this where I've double stranded just to kind of save myself time. Because you are double stranding, the project will be bigger. It's like changing the gauge of the project. Sometimes, just like you I just showed you there by accident, is that you can drop strands, and you got to make sure you grab them both at the same time. Now here's the thing. Once you start double stranding stuff like this, if you ever had to frog this afghan out or project out, it's a lot harder to do because these strands are just kind of twisting and twirling onto each other, and so they become very difficult to separate out if you ever have to pull it out. So you have to be you have to love what you're doing right from the very start. So let's say I'm gonna double crochet. So I'm gonna turn my work, chain up 3, that's your double crochet, and just move along. So no big deal, right? So I'm just gonna double crochet using 2 strands at one time. So this is a really kind of a cool idea, thickening things up. I use scrap. I did my afghans with scrap yarn when I did it like this, and I made sure that I had different colors, so each string was a different color. So what I'm gonna show you next when I get to the end is that I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do with doing some really cool color transitioning properties. I did this with my Catherine wheel stitch that I called the Vibrant Catherine wheel, and you can see I just dropped 1 strand as I did that. So you just got to be very conscientious that if you drop a strand, you just pick it back up. If you drop a strand and don't see that it will not unravel your whole thing because it's pretty much linked together. It just doesn't look as pretty. So I'm gonna go all the way to the end, and I'm gonna show you a color transitioning technique that I did, as well as Jeannie recently did on one of her projects. So I'm gonna show you that next. So if you want a progressive color change, so I want to go to green next, but I don't want to go to green right away. I want it to appear like it's a gradual change, like it's being painted. So what I'd like to do is that I get rid of one of these strands. So I'm gonna cut one of the strands over here and just very carefully I want to make sure that I'm going to work with that one, and I'm gonna hide that in as I go. So what I want to do is that I want to grab the new yarn here, and I want to create a slip knot. So that's gonna be the beginning. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna turn my work, and the strand that I cut I'm gonna leave out to the side, and the other strand that we're still gonna keep is still gonna stay with me. So I'm going to chain up, and I need to chain up 3 for my double crochet. So I'm gonna wrap the hook with the one and insert the loop onto the other. So there's the new color like this. So using those two I'm gonna loop through, so 1, and I'm gonna put them together now. See? 2 and 3. Now I'm gonna go to the next one, but I want to grab the 2 stragglers, the new green and the one that I cut, and I want to leave that down on top of the line, and I want to go right up over top of it and hide it. So when I go up over top it's gonna lock it underneath, and now I'm gonna double crochet. So now that I got 2 different colors on here, it's not technically blue and it's not technically green, it's kind of a mix. So I just leave these stragglers down for about a couple inches, and I just continue to use both of these colors as I go. So you're just gonna continue to go all the way across, and I'm going to transition to green fully by the time I get to the other side. Let me show you how I'm gonna do that. So as I make my way across, I'm just going all the way to the end. So just like I got rid of one of the blues before, this time I'm getting rid of another blue. So again I'm just gonna cut it safely back here, just so I can have some left over, and then green is the new color to be. So what I'm gonna do, I only have one ball of green here, so I'm gonna grab the outside strand of that one because I was grabbing the inside before, and I'm gonna create a slip knot and get that ready to transition. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna let this blue fall out of the way. I'm gonna grab the green, which is the new one. I'm gonna grab this new green completely, and using these 2 green only is that I'm going to pull through to count as 1, and then now they're together. So 2 and 3, just like that. So now putting those 2 stragglers down on top, I can now safely go across. So this would, how I did it before is that, so you're basically just slowly transitioning. It's like a gradient color. Instead of being such a hard cut off of going from green to blue or blue to green, you can see that it does a nice transition in the middle, and from a distance this looks absolutely incredible when you do it like this. So what I did for myself when I did the Catherine wheel stitch like this is that I did one whole wheel like this, and then the next wheel is then a transition of a solid color, and etc. So this would be how you would make these kind of ideas from going from one color to another with having a gradient in the middle. And these ones that you went over as you went, because you had gone safely over them, is that you can safely cut those out because you had been going over them, and then you don't have to worry about those falling out at all. So that's how you would do this kind of idea of a color transition gradient when it comes to using 2 strands at one time. And if you have more than 2 strands, you can still play this way. You just have to think about it a little bit harder and then come up with your own method. So until next time, I'm Mikey on behalf of the Crochet Crowd as well as yarnspirations.com. Have a great day. We'll see you again real soon. Bye bye.